Hey everyone, it is Rev Trev. Thank you for showing up to Kempner Sports. And as you can see, I'm a Packers fan, but I absolutely love watching the NFL. I keep tabs on every team. And today we're going to be diving into the conversation regarding Rookie of the Year. I know some of you might be saying, this is a little early to do this. I don't think so, because we only have 4 weeks left in the NFL season. A lot can happen. And so I want to tackle this topic. Now, the challenge about tackling this topic is there's a lot of debate at this time, and people can get really heated about who's better and all those kind of things. So I would love to hear your comments in the comment section. Please post them. What you think, who you think defensive rookie of the year was going to be, and offensive rookie of the year is going to be as well. And if you just stay just for a couple minutes, I'd love to share with you my thoughts on this hot topic debate. I'd really appreciate that. Also, I try to do not only NFL content, but Packer content and fantasy football content. I even dive into NHL with Canucks content. If you like any one of those things, 4 things that I just described, please hit that like button and subscribe, and I'd really appreciate it. So let's dive into Rookie of the Year. So we're going to start off with Defensive Rookie of the Year, and I've got a bunch of stats that I don't want to miss. So the number one name that people are talking about comes from the New York Jets, and that is Sauce Gardner, who has the coolest name in the NFL. Sauce, like, are you kidding me? Especially if you're playing well, it's good sauce. And rightfully so. People should be talking about this guy. He was drafted 4th overall. He's taken the league by storm to start. He's been a shutdown corner this season. He's got 40 solo tackles and 11 assist tackles. And he's allowed only 25 receptions in 57 targets with 2 interceptions. So that's definitely impressive by Sauce Gardner. And that's why people are talking about him being potentially the Defensive Rookie of the Year. But hold on just for a minute, okay? There's a guy who's starting to turn heads, and his name is Tyreek Woolen. So Woolen is a 5th round pick. Are you kidding me right now? Listen to these numbers. He's also got 40 solo tackles, but he's only got 4 assists. But he's got 20 receptions allowed in 51 targets, and that is basically Sauce Gardner numbers. But he's leading the league in interceptions. This is absolutely nuts. Are you kidding me? Leading the league as a rookie with interceptions with 6. But why isn't he getting more attention? Is it because he was a 5th round pick? Is it because he plays for the Seattle Seahawks? Is it because he's from a small university? Is it that because people want to hype up Sauce instead? Maybe because he doesn't have a good enough name? I don't know. He's got a cool name, I think. But he's been, in my opinion, playing better than Sauce, higher level football than Sauce, and they're very similar. So we're splitting hairs here, okay? The guy that you would have guessed going into the draft who would be in the conversation is Aiden Hutchinson for the Detroit Lions. Number 2 overall, impact defensive end. But this Lions team has had horrific defense all year. I think it's affecting Hutchinson's play. And he's gotten lost in the shuffle of the dysfunction in Detroit. So he's got 19 solo tackles, 5 assists, but he's got no forced fumbles, but he's got 7 sacks, and that is pretty impressive. I'm expecting, and everyone's been expecting, a little bit even more from him, but the season's not over yet. Also like to give an honorable mention to Jack Jones, Patriots cornerback, but he is not good as Woolen and Sauce Gardner. So now let's move on to the Offensive Rookie of the Year candidates, and this is where it gets heated because people get so passionate about this. This is nuts. Let's start with the running backs, okay? So we're going to start with the guy that it just seemed like he was running away with this award, Breece Hall, who had so many phenomenal weeks, was a difference maker, long runs, looked dynamic, and then the season-ending injury. And that's it for his, he was on pace to be Rookie of the Year offensively, but now he is no longer in the running. So let's talk about a guy who wasn't drafted as high, but is Dameon Pierce. Dameon Pierce, man, this kid is very, very good. I mean, he is having a terrific year on a horrific Houston Texans team that's going to get the first rower pick because they're the worst in the league. He's the lone bright spot on this whole entire team. So listen to these stats, okay? On 198 carries, let me just say that again, 198 carries already for a rookie. That's awesome. 861 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's averaging 4.3 yards per carry, but unfortunately he already has 3 fumbles, and he's got 31 receptions, 165 receiving yards, and 1 receiving touchdown. So he's been incredible. Let's just be honest. He's been incredible. There's only been 2 weeks that he's really struggled. That was against the Commanders, who have a great defensive front four, and the Dolphins that is a lot better than people were anticipating. So Pierce is definitely in the running for Offensive Rookie of the Year. But let's also talk about this guy that seems to be getting so much hype right now, and probably rightfully so, Kenneth Walker, or they call him K9. I love that nickname. That is so cool. So he was hidden behind Penny in Seattle as the starting running back, and he didn't get a chance to sign and to shine until Penny just had that season-ending injury. Penny just seems to always get injured, and I feel bad for the guy, but it is what it is. And so now it's K9 time, and he hasn't let this opportunity pass by him. Listen to this. In the short work that he's had, 138 carries, 650 yards rushing, and 9 touchdowns. Yes, you heard that right. 9 touchdowns, 4.7 yards per carry. And then he has 0 fumbles, which is better than Pierce. And he also has 19 receptions for 116 yards, but no receiving touchdowns. So, but the thing about Kenneth Walker is that he's made Seattle better. And Seattle's so much better than we were anticipating. Geno Smith has been better. So he's been able to play with those weapons with Metcalf and Lockett and Goodwin, and then he has the running game with Walker, and they just have really elevated their play. But he's just faced a right ankle injury. He's questionable for Sunday. A lot of people are suggesting he's going to play this Sunday, and I think for his Rookie of the Year candidate options, that would be good for him. But everyone loves a Breece Hall. Did you know that Kenneth Walker was only picked 5 selections behind Breece Hall? That there was a controversy for some of the scouts that some had Kenneth Walker above Breece Hall. Like, this is how good K9 is. So now we can't talk about Offensive Rookie of the Year without talking about a wide receiver or two, okay? So there is this guy, I don't know if you've heard him, he plays for the Packers. His name's Christian Watson. We should call him something like Speedy Gonzalez. We should call him Touchdown King. I don't know what we're going to call him. All I know is we're not talking about Drake London, who is pick number 8. We're not talking about Garrett Wilson, even though he's having a good year at pick number 10. We're not talking about Jameis Williams, who is supposed to be unbelievable for Detroit, but he's got hurt, and he was picked at number 12. We're not talking about Dotson from the Commanders, who is picked at 16, or Treylon Burks, who was picked at 18. We're talking about Christian Watson, who is picked number 34. The Packers traded up to get him in the second round, and there's been so much controversy that whether they should have picked Pickens or Watson. As you can see, both of those guys are fantastic and incredible, but we are loving it in Green Bay watching Christian Watson, and his speed is absolutely next level, elite level speed. So now he's been selected out of North Dakota State. He's got 9 touchdowns on the year. He's got 7 receiving, which is tied for 4th in the NFL. That is insane. He's got 2 rushing touchdowns, and those, man, the speed on those is crazy. So have I talked to you about that he's fast? So anyways, but here's the thing. he's got 8 touchdowns in the last 4 games. Like, where has he been before that? Well, he's been injured. He's faced a lot of injuries. And I just keep on thinking when it comes to Christian Watson, what kind of stats would he have if he was healthy? Now, we all know that it's about the stats and it's about being injury-free and that whole thing. So that's definitely going to hamper his cause. But he's been out of 3 games and putting up massive numbers, huge production in regards to touchdowns and being clutch. And so that is something that, as Packers fans, why we're so excited. And the rest of the league is starting to notice Christian Watson. I was just on a podcast tonight, NFL Outdated, and there was Vikings fans talking about, and Bears fans talking about this guy. They're worried about, he looks like an elite level wide receiver, and so that gets me excited when they are even recognizing it, not just biased Packer fandom, right? So, but everyone was talking about Romeo Doubs, and rightfully so. They should be talking about Romeo Doubs, but now Doubs is hurt and Watson is healthy, and imagine what Rodgers is going to do when he gets both of these guys on the field at the same time. I mean, that's going to be really exciting. Okay, so the last guy, and this is the one where you're probably angry at me right now if I haven't mentioned his name yet, is Chris Olave. So Olave is not only a top wide receiver that was selected, he was in the first round and drafted so high. He was pick number 11, okay? And he has produced. He's taken the league by storm. So he's faced tons of double teams with Michael Thomas, been injured for most of the season, and here he is. Listen, this Olave has 94 targets. That's 12th in the NFL. That is insane. 60 receptions, 18th in the league. Okay, he's 9th in receiving yards, 887, and but he only has 3 touchdowns. And I would say part of that, the reason why all those numbers are impressive, except for the touchdowns, is because he's doing that without great quarterback play. Like, when you are a wide receiver, you need to be tied to a really good quarterback in order to have these kind of numbers. And he's making a very, very strong case for Rookie of the Year. So, like I mentioned, honorable mention would go to George Pickens. But again, quarterback play has hampered his. So I don't think he doesn't match up with Olave or Christian Watson. So, in my opinion, you can see where I'm learning. I'm moving towards Woolen and Olave, and so that's who I would be saying right now. But there's lots of football left. We're talking 4 weeks. Tons of stuff can happen. I can see Sauce Gardner getting more interceptions, making a strong case for Defensive Rookie of the Year. I can see Kenneth Walker continuing his tear. I can see Christian Watson continuing his great reign coming up. So again, what do you think is going to happen? Who's your Rookie of the Year, offensively, defensively? Please post this in the comments. I'd really appreciate your interaction, engaging. So who's going to be left standing at the end of the year? Thanks so much for watching. Hit that likes and subscribe button, and please check back for more incredible content. By the way, sneak peek, I'm going to be doing a video on is Jordan Love for real? Is it time for Jordan Love in Green Bay? So talk to you soon.